The fall of 2013 was a blur of job applications and ramen noodles. I just graduated from the University of Washington with a useless English degree and a serious gaming addiction. So when Phoenix Interactive in Seattle, Washington called me in for an interview, I was all over it. Game testing. It wasn't glamorous, but it was a foot in the door, a chance to get paid for something I actually loved. They hired me on the spot, probably because my enthusiasm bordered on desperation. My first assignment dropped on my desk a week later, a game called Whispering Gallery. The project lead, an older guy named Frank, barely looked up. Just log your hours, report bugs, standard stuff. It's a point-and-click adventure. Devs are a small indie outfit, Spectre Studios, out of Vancouver, BC. They're trying something experimental. Experimental was an understatement. Booting it up, there was no main menu, no title screen, just a black void that slowly faded into a dimly lit, empty art gallery. No music. Just a faint, rhythmic tap, tap, tap that sounded like dripping water somewhere far off. The graphics were off. Textures stretched, objects flickered at the edges of my vision. It felt like walking through a digital nightmare cobbled together from half-baked models. The objective popped up. Find the exit before time runs out. A timer, digital and stark, appeared in the upper right corner. 15 minutes. I started moving, my avatar a silent, indistinct figure. The gallery was filled with grotesque, distorted sculptures that looked like melted wax figures of contorted faces. Their eyes, or where eyes should have been, seemed to follow me. The tap, tap, tap continued, a maddeningly slow heartbeat. Then I noticed them, figures in the periphery. They looked like porcelain dolls, but with oversized, vacant heads and spindly limbs, dressed in tattered, old-fashioned clothes. They weren't moving, just standing there, facing the walls. As I navigated deeper, the dolls multiplied. They lined the corridors, stood in clusters in empty rooms, always facing away from me, always silent. The tap, tap, tap seemed to get slightly louder, more insistent. I tried interacting with the sculptures, the walls, anything. Nothing. Just the eerie silence and the unblinking backs of the dolls. My unease grew. This wasn't a game. It felt like a performance, a psychological experiment. The timer ticked down relentlessly. 10 minutes. 8 minutes. I found a door. Clicked it. It opened to another, identical gallery space. The endless recursion felt like a trap. At the 5-minute mark, the dolls started to turn, slowly, almost imperceptibly at first. One by one, their heads swiveled on their delicate necks, their empty eye sockets now fixed on me. They still didn't move, but the sheer number of them, all facing me, sent a chill down my spine. The tap, tap, tap sped up, becoming a frantic tap, 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 tap. My fingers hovered over the keyboard. My colleague Sarah at the next desk was giggling at a goofy platformer. I glanced at her, then back to my screen. The dolls were closer now, closer to the screen, filling my peripheral vision. Their heads weren't vacant anymore. There were faint, almost invisible cracks running across their porcelain faces, like spiderwebs. The timer hit 30 seconds. The tap, tap, tap was a deafening drumbeat in my ears, amplified by the game's audio. The image on screen started distorting, stretching, pixelating. The doll's eyes, once empty, were now deep, black pits. Their cracks widened, forming grotesque smiles that seemed to writhe. When it hit 0, the screen didn't just cut to black, it exploded. A guttural, distorted scream, not human, not animal, but something ancient and raw, ripped through my headphones. It was accompanied by a chaotic symphony of shattering porcelain and splintering wood. The image flashed once. A single, horrifying frame, a close-up of one of the doll's faces, its smile now a gaping maw, the black pits of its eyes burning with a malevolent, undeniable sentience. Then blackness. A single line of text in stark white. You were too slow. My heart hammered against my ribs. My headphones felt like they were vibrating. I tore them off, my hand shaking. Sarah looked over, her smile fading. "Everything okay, Ethan? You look like you just saw a ghost." I stammered. Something was wrong with that game. I logged the bugs, the unsettling audio, the graphic distortions, the psychological impact. Frank just grunted. Probably just a bad build. Rookie developers. But later that week, other testers got their hands on Whispering Gallery. They came out pale, disturbed. One guy, Mark, swore he saw something move in his reflection in the dark monitor after the game crashed. Frank tried to contact Spectre Studios. No reply. Their website vanished. Their social media went dark. Whispering Gallery was pulled from our testing schedule. It just disappeared. Lost media. I still work at Phoenix Interactive. I've tested hundreds of games since then, but none of them have ever had the same lingering effect. Sometimes late at night, when the house is quiet, I hear a faint, distant tap, tap, tap. And sometimes when I close my eyes, I see those porcelain dolls, their heads slowly swiveling, their cracked smiles stretching, waiting. I never found the exit, and a part of me wonders if the game wasn't just a game, but a locked room, and I'm still inside.